Yeah, so let's start with today's markets. So the markets are obviously very opening very flat today. SPY and QQQ are both struggling to find direction in the pre-market, with Nasdaq being even lower where it closed on Saturday. Uh, so as we know, the trades, the indices have been on a insane bullish run from late October and has gone uh, more than 10% up over this period of time. uh, QQQ is. SPY also made significant rose almost also 10% up from that late October bottom. So what's happening now is it's trying to consolidate. So we had consolidation early in the November. So after a few days of insane rally and gap up opens, we had a consolidation, and we're seeing that exact move being repeated here. But our fisher is obviously at 4 already, and even if the market is like on the bullish side, the sentiments are on the bullish side, everything is kind of getting exhausted. If we go on to the higher time frames, we will find that we are already at a very good resistance level, which is confirmed through July and September, and then again in September mid. And if we go back further, if we will find like historically on different periods, we'll see that on 21 September 21, April 22, these levels were tested and confirmed on both sides, on the bullish and the bearish side. So the thing is, as I said this morning, is trading with concern. In these areas, the cause for concerns were lesser. Now that we have made a 10% move, it doesn't mean that this move has to stop here. It can obviously test these higher highs, also even the all-time highs, which if I'm correct, it's closer to 500 days now, where the S&P hasn't made a new high. So that's something that the market is also keeping track of. So these levels are still in play, but we don't really have the market for that kind of moves yet. So I would be really watchful going forward, and only with certain moves on the upside further from these levels, I will take further call bets. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, which this is, our margins are like this. So this is the 451.34 area, mm, uh, top of recent price levels, which also, if we see here, is the continued support drawn here. So this is 15 minutes. These are our levels. So obviously, if we see a breakout of these levels, uh, uh, we can target higher prices on the breakout. But the problem would be that these levels are not quite well defined, because as we can see, the price hasn't traded much in these areas also, which can be assessed through the sorry, why is it not VRVP? Yeah, which can also be assessed through the VRVPs. Uh, if we turn this on the 4 hour itself, we'll find that above 456, going back to even 20 21, we are not seeing too much volume above 459. So these levels, as I said, are not quite well defined. So our targets would be smaller, around 454, and then that would move a little bit more to 458. So these would be the targets, and you have to keep this in transitional, uh, so, because if we hold and keep these trades, this we could get drawn out, and uh, so that's how we should go on about this. So coming up next, on the alternate scenario, if the price stays inside the channel, we do nothing. We just watch the price action unfold, or if it breaks down from these 448, then we become active to explore some puts, which should open these 442 440 levels, because really speaking, really the whole month of November, October, going back to September, yeah, we don't have any activity in the last 2 months in this area. So since October, we don't have this margin. So if the price breaks down, it could get drawn to further down. So uh, it's a quite simple trade on either side. We just need a breakdown of this zone it is stuck on. So SPY, the Nasdaq is pretty similar. It's not quite different. Just the levels are different. So it's that 387, 388, 387.6 mark, and below is 384, 383 mark. So these are the levels I'll watch, and if the price stays inside, I don't like I would not instruct like any action, because um, frankly, yeah, it's not really worth it. It invites risk, and because we are doing like near term zero DT or weekly trades, weekly option expiries, if the price doesn't move in either direction, it's just going to create losses. So it is not really worth it. So yeah, that's Nasdaq and SPY. Uh, So XOM is quite interesting because oil obviously made a huge leap uh, last week on Friday, and again today, which can trigger further upside on XOM, which I would expect somewhere around 108 even. Um, mm, if that 105 106 area is broken out, it's already up about a percent. So that's something to keep an eye out for. If we can enter lower, it's obviously better. This is a great entry point near 105, which we also previously tried, I think. So if the price comes back a little down, it can actually be helpful rather than problematic. So that there is also that upside on XY. So these are, I think, the three trades I would advice today. On the earnings front, I don't think the earnings that are releasing today are worth trading, because we don't really have that much focus on those and knowledge about those particular stocks. But tomorrow, on after hours, we have Nvidia. That's a pretty interesting stock. We have seen time and time again it like getting really good returns on longer term. So the estimates are higher, revenues are higher, on earnings are higher. So I would expect Nvidia, which already did the 500, which I forecasted uh, in the middle part of the year, and we could see even higher prices on the stock if the market sentiment holds. So that's about it on the market scope for today. The dollar, as we know, has not moved an inch. The 2-year yields, 10-year yields have been the same, about the same since morning. Gold is a little bit down, which might sometimes be better for the market. The Nasdaq and SPY are going to open flat unless that changes a lot in the next 1 hour 22 minutes. The US 30, which includes Microsoft, even with the Microsoft's 1.3% about that like upside, is going to open flat. Nasdaq, similarly to the ETF, is is about flat for the day, uh, after some upside in the during the morning periods. Uh, VIX is trading obviously at the same 14 level. We need VIX to be lower for further long term trade. Other than that, the market seems to be covered. And if you have any questions, yeah, just let me know. I'll respond to them over WhatsApp. Thank you.